Hello, I welcome you for the current session. In this session, we are going to learn about production possibility curve. What is this production possibility curve and why do we study? ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ರೇಖೆ ಈ ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಎಂದರೆ ಏನು ಬನ್ನಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. Production possibility curve is studied in relation with economic problems. In order to understand how economic problems can be graphically represented, we study this concept of PPC, that is production possibility curve. PPC is also known as PPF, that is production possibility frontier, utpadana sadhyate sarhadu. Now, as we all know, the resources available in a particular economy is limited, but the same limited resources need to be classified among various production activities, among various goods that need to be produced within an economy. Hence, optimum and efficient allocation is the key to the success over here. Hence, to understand how resources are allocated among various goods, we understand this topic. Production possibility frontier is a graphical representation of two goods that can be produced with the help of the productive resources in an economy. When I am talking about production possibility frontier, we are going to discuss this concept based on four assumptions. The first one being limitation of resources. It is a fact that all economies have been blessed with limited resources. The second one, full employment of resources. When we are understanding the concept and when we are testing the curve and law, we are assuming that resources in an economy are completely employed and completely utilized. The third one being, we are going to take in this particular concept only two goods for the comparison and understanding. And the fourth one being that technological advancement is assumed to be constant. Hence, depending upon these four assumptions, we understand the concept of PPC. I again repeat, PPC is a graphical representation. It is a curve representing various combinations of two goods that can be produced by an economy by complete utilization of the resources available at a particular point of time. This curve is also known as transformation curve. But why? Why? Because this curve helps us understand how resources are transferred from one production activity to another production activity. How the resources are moved from production of one good to another good. As they are limited, we need to increase the production. If we are aiming at increasing the production of one product, we need to reduce the production of another product. And this curve displays the same attribute. And when we are talking about production possibility frontier, this is the curve which helps us understand movement of resources between two goods. They could be capital goods, consumer goods. They could be defense goods, non-defense goods. They could be necessaries, comforts, or luxuries as well. Hence, we understand how the resources in an economy are distributed among different units of production or different goods that are produced in an economy. Now, further moving on to the graphical representation. Now, production possibility curve. What is production possibility curve? It is a curve representing various combinations of two goods that can be produced within an economy by using all the resources available. Now, in this present graph, as you see, on the x and y axis, we have taken two goods. For the example, we have taken two goods as wheat and cotton. The y-axis is representing wheat and the x-axis is representing as cotton. Now, when we are talking about PPC or PPF, this is a concave shaped curve. As you observe on the graph, the blue color concave curve PPF is representing the production possibility frontier. This is concave to the origin because of the fact the resources are limited. When resources are limited, then the production of one good is increased. The production of another good needs to be reduced. as you observe in the diagram. Suppose the initial point of production in an economy was point A, and this point is representing to us the initial point where the amount of production of wheat was YA and the amount of production of cotton was XA. But if one has to increase the amount of production of cotton from XA to XB, then what would have happened? Then we need to reduce the production of wheat from YA to B. So in this case, the production of wheat has reduced in order to increase the production of cotton. And why is this happening? This is happening because there is limitation of resources. When resources are limited, it is understood that in order to increase the production of one product, we need to reduce the production of another product. Hence, for the same reason, the concave shape of PPC is observed. Any point on the PPC curve implies full utilization of resources. What does it imply? Full utilization of resources. So both point A and B represent full utilization of resources. Or any other point, say where I have my pointer, there also any point on the curve will represent full use of resources. Then what does this point D and what does this point C represent to us? We need to understand that. The point C is representing underutilization of resources. At this point of time, if the wheat and cotton has been produced, it implies the production is being carried out, but there is no full utilization of resources. Resources have been underutilized. On the other hand, the point D implies that the targets of production are very high, but the resources are not supportive. That means to say there is scarcity of resource availability. You don't have sufficient resources that can support you in production of your higher targets of production. In that case, the concept of international trade comes in, wherein you have to be dependent upon other countries for meeting your needs. Now, moving on further, production possibility curve also explains us how there is an economic growth in an economy. P naught F naught is an original or initial production possibility frontier. Suppose in an economy, if we have to represent technological advancement or economic growth or growth in national output, how do we represent with the help of PPC is by representing the shifts in PPC. As you observe in the diagram, I have mentioned about rightward and leftward shift. Now, what does rightward shift imply? Rightward shift is implying there is a greater amount of production of cotton as well as greater amount of production of wheat. But when is this going to be possible? This is going to be possible when there is growth of resource availability. But the fact is that resources are limited. Then how can there be a growth in resource availability? It can only be possible when new resources are acquired or the existing techniques of production have been improvised. So it implies both. So this rightward shift is implying to us several things like growth of national output, economic growth has increased, technological advancement has taken up, new natural resources have been acquired. Maybe a country has acquired another country because of which greater natural resources are available. Similarly, the leftward shift in the PPC, as you observe over here with P1F1, is representing the decline in the resources available. It could be man-made reasons or natural reasons. It could be war or any natural calamity because of which the resource availability in the economy has declined, as a result of which the national output has declined, the economic growth has declined, and maybe technological advancement is not there because of war or because of any natural calamity. So this is the way in which production possibility curve helps us in understand the problem of economic growth. Moving again backwards, I would like to also say you over here we also understand what kind of technology the country is dependent upon. If the production of cotton is more, it implies they are dependent upon capital intensive technique of production. Whereas if I'm taking wheat, it implies, say,
They are dependent upon labor intensive technique. Now, you may question me, how is that possible? The question lies over here, the answer lies over here, wherein I've taken two examples as wheat and cotton, which are both farm based. But if I have taken examples like, say, wheat and automobiles, then the answer would have been more clearer. Similarly, what to produce, what has been produced more in quantity in the economy is also answered by the same PPC curve. Hence, PPC curve helps us in understanding what is produced, how to produce, and how much is being produced, for whom it is being produced, and how economic growth and economic efficiency has been portrayed with the help of production possibility curve. So that's all for the current session. Keep reading, keep learning, keep growing. Happy learning. Good luck.